Hey gang, Michael Lahrman here. I'm going to be discussing a lot of different subjects on this YouTube channel revolving around hockey, and today I'm going to be talking about the NHL as a product and the lack of marketing going into that product. It has become cliche to say that hockey is the best live spectator sport, or that the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best tournament in all of sports. I want to hear a casual sports fan say that, because it's true. Not because I think it's true. With that being said, I've decided to make a two-part video. The first, breaking down all of the shortcomings and where they lie. And the second, talking about the optimism and the future of the league. And with that, let's get into it. If you're watching this video, you likely love hockey as much as I do. When TNT and ESPN got the TV rights last season, I was excited. I mean, the worldwide leader in sports, SportsCenter. So why is it that the best NHL coverage and commentary I can find is on YouTube? And why is the highest paid anchor at ESPN talking about hockey in this way?
Only thing I know about hockey is that the puck is black. Okay. And I love Gary Bettman. That's my buddy who I owe a trip to the hockey game.
Right.
It is no disrespect.
ESPN pays $400 million a year for the TV deal with the NHL. TNT pays $225 million a year. This was a big win for the NHL. A lot of promise. We're in the second year of the deal, and the numbers aren't so promising. National TV viewership is down a reported 22%. I mean, cable subscriptions are down too. But what can ESPN and TNT do to increase viewership for the NHL? Well, they could start by upping their production value. I can tell you that much for free. Broadcast in 4K maybe? ESPN, you can't swing that upgrade? I don't have a problem with the animated boards. The new Amsterdam ad is pretty aesthetically pleasing if you ask me, but the one thing that I can't handle is the botched sound. If the commentary coming from the announcers had any relevance to what we were seeing on the screen, it could be devastating. There was a real opportunity to elevate the game through the broadcast. But 2 years into the deal, it looks like ESPN has gone with the novice approach. If you or I performed this poorly at our job, we'd be looking for employment, and likely in a new field. Our expectations have changed. Get it together. You're Disney, for crying out loud. Brian Jennings has been the executive vice president of marketing in the NHL for the last 32 years. Gary Bettman has been the commissioner of the NHL for the last 30 years. Now, if we're going to be critical of the broadcast, I think we need to start by looking inward. What has the league done to help the networks promote the game? Pride Night fiascos? Unwatchable All-Star festivities? You take the Stanley Cup to Disneyland for the weekend? How about scheduling? Should we have 3 games at intermission all at the same time every single night? Could you consider staggering the start times like you're doing in the playoffs? We are currently witnessing the evolution of the game. And what has the league-wide strategy been since Mr. Jennings took that position? Lean on the great one. We're not talking about how the players could have more personality in their interviews, or how the commentators could ask better, more insightful questions, and leaving all of those overworked phrases in the past. We're not talking about how there could be better fan and youth outreach across the United States. We're asking Jennifer Botterill to recreate a move that Trevor Zegras did in a game, in the studio, in high heels. Now, I'm all for female commentators and analysts. I'm an LA Kings fan, and Carlin Bathe has added a lot to the Bally Sports broadcast. She's added a lot to the NHL video game as well. In recent news, it was announced that Fanatics was going to be the authentic jersey provider for the NHL starting in 2024. Fanatics replaced Adidas, Adidas placed Reebok, and on, and who cares? You know, it would be a lot different if Fanatics and the NHL announced that there was a notable designer that was going to be heading up the project. This is just an example, but when Kanye signed his deal with Adidas or Gap, there was a lot of increased interest in those products, increased demand as well. Now, I know in that example, it didn't work out, but we all seen brand deals elevate products on a regular basis. What name could have been added to the project that would have had that kind of effect for the NHL? How about Austin Matthews' Stan, Justin Bieber, and the guys over at Drew? I don't know if they could have pulled it off, but you get the idea. Just look at all the excitement in Ottawa with Deadpool in town. Have we seen a creative approach to promoting this year's playoffs? I haven't. Do you want to know who the coolest hockey ambassador of all time is?
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G.
It works. Stop doing the same thing, expecting different results. Okay, we're relaxed. Don't worry, part 2 is the optimism video. There's a lot to be excited for. The league is loaded with star power. The future is bright. I can't wait to break it all down for you in part 2, and I'll see you then.